Sinking driveway, settling patio, collapsing stoop, uneven pool deck. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
It's the morning weather briefing video. This is for Thursday, the 7th of July. I'm James Spann, and it's the time of the year where things just don't change a lot, but the changes do happen. They're just subtle, and I do think the heat levels come down next week to some degree. It's always hot and muggy this time of the year, but looks like the worst of the heat will be shifting a little west of here, and I think that's some good news that most people will appreciate. Let's begin, as we usually do, with the upper air look, and this really tells the story. The surface maps just don't tell us a lot this time of the year. And again, this is what's happening about 18,000 feet off the ground. This is where the pressure is 500 millibars. And again, you see those lines that are tightly put together up north near the Canadian border. That's the jet stream. In the winter and the spring, that's down here. This time of the year, it's up there. And you see those numbers like 594, 593. Those are the heights where the pressure is 500 millibars. And that's pretty intense, and that's still on top of us today, so it's going to be hot. There's the radar this morning. At the insane hour of about 5 o'clock, Alabama mostly rain-free to start today, but after 1 or 2 o'clock, we'll see the pop-up storms again. We are starting off this day in the 70s, highs back in the 90s again today. And again, this is the Weather Service criteria map, and all of Alabama is going to be hot. Understand that. And again, I use the example of, say, driving from Montgomery, where you've got a heat index in effect, to Greenville, where you don't. You won't notice any difference, really. It's hot everywhere. But the reason they put those counties in orange, that's where the heat index could hit 105 in spots. And up there in the Tennessee Valley, you got those counties in purple. That's where the heat index might briefly touch 110. But we're going to see some storms. Yes, we had those yesterday, and the hot weather didn't last long. Places like the Shoals cool down really quick, and that'll be the case again today. But just be aware that it's going to be hot, and it's going to be hot across the southern states. You can see those heat advisories running from Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas over to the Atlantic coast. We'll check the severe weather possibilities for today. And on top of the heat bubble, we've got the chance of severe storms, and that does clip parts of Alabama. We've got a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for the northeastern corner of the state. Places like Scottsboro, Fort Payne, and Huntsville. We have a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5, down to Russellville, Birmingham, and Phoenix City. And remember, any summer storm can be strong, but in those areas that have those colors where the storms do pop up, there might be a wet microburst in spots. That's localized areas of strong straight-line winds. There's no tornado threat. But all summer storms have just gobs of lightning. That's typically the biggest problem. Here's the severe weather outlook tomorrow across the country. And again, for Alabama, we've got about the eastern half of the state in a marginal risk. That's level 1 out of level 5. And just keep in mind, where the storms do form, they could pack a punch with a chance of strong straight-line winds. And understand, it will not rain everywhere where you see the darker green. But no doubt they'll be around. And then we'll go to day 3, which is Saturday. And all of Alabama, all 67 counties under a marginal risk. And that doesn't mean a rainy day. It doesn't mean it's going to rain everywhere. But again, where the storms do form, they could be pretty strong. So keep that in mind. This is day 4, which is Sunday. We have a risk way up north, parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas. Here's the rain for the next 7 days, and the numbers are coming up, and that's a good thing. And again, there's evidence the heat ridge shifts west next week, and that means lower heat levels and better coverage of showers and storms on a daily basis. And you can see average amounts, and that's the key word here is average, between 1 and 3 inches for the state. Your number could vary. Tropical weather remains quiet. And understand, it's going to break loose at some point. This is the 2-day outlook from the Hurricane Center, and this is the 5-day outlook. And again, August is coming and September is coming. We all know that, but for now, things are nice and calm. So model fans, let's go. This is modeling the GFS, the Global Forecast System, the American Global Model, valid today at 4. And really and truly, that map tells a better story. This is what you've got about 18,000 feet off the ground. And again, you can see the mid-latitude westerlies, the jet stream up north near the Canadian border. We've got ridging all across the southern states, and that's exactly what you expect to see this time of the year. But let me just go right out a week from today, and you can see the difference. I think showing you the surface maps, that's great in the cool season. It doesn't do much good this time of the year, but you see the difference, okay? Where the upper high is shifted way out west, and there's a trough developing over the eastern states. And that'll bring a pretty noticeable change, I think. So again, let me go back. This is what it looks like today. And then a week from today, this is what it looks like. And you can see that difference. And boy, that's a nasty upper high. That's a 6,000 meter upper high out there. That's going to be awfully hot over Salt Lake City. But again, we're thinking really beginning this weekend and through next week, highs maybe dropping in the upper 80s in spots and a better coverage of showers and storms. We'll go out 10 days. This is Saturday, the 16th of July. And it's the same story. We have a trough over the east and a big upper high out west, and hopefully that will mean heat levels that are somewhat tolerable. This is the rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. You're looking for that green line, and the mean is between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 22nd of July. And yeah, buddy, come on now. Look at this. So you can see the difference, and I do think you can tell a difference between 94 and 86, okay? And that's kind of the range here. So this coming off the national blend of models, suggesting a high of about 94 today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And then look at that, upper 80s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe mid-80s toward the end of next week with that trough over the eastern states. And, of course, it's still going to be awfully humid and all that. It's always hot and humid this time of the year. But, again, that's just encouraging to see next week that the heat won't be as bad as it could be. And this is the latest 8 to 14 day outlook coming from the Climate Prediction Center. This is for the 14th through the 20th of July. And you can see temperatures above average out west, really below average, just north of here, near average for Alabama during that time frame. And once again yesterday, we had all the iridescent clouds over the state. And these are different from 22-degree sun halos. These are different from sun dogs. Typically, you see these on summer days when the sun is kind of overhead and often at the top of these cumulonimbus towers. And this is nothing new, but it's cool as could be. And like I said, made that little video yesterday. Sometimes you just got to look up and you're going to see some pretty cool stuff. Had more rain shafts. That was one of the rain shafts up in Marshall County yesterday. Just a summer soaker. For those that were underneath that. And then after the rain shafts, we had just a great, amazing sunset, especially over the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. After that, here's a shot coming from the brow at Mentone on Lookout Mountain. And I got to show you a couple of shots down from the Sunflower Field in Autaugaville between Montgomery and Selma. Those shots were great. Joe Paul Cates and Bob Phillips went down there, and the Gulf Coast was just stunning last night. Just really, really, really nice. And if you're beach bound, you know, on your app, you're going to see that little thunderstorm picture, and you're thinking, oh no, it's going to rain our trip out there. You're going to see that little thunderstorm bolt every day in the summer, every year. That's just the typical pop-up storms. We see no sign of any washout type widespread rain for the Gulf Coast. And sure, you'll see a storm from time to time, but you'll have a lot of days that will look just like that when the sun is going down. So that's it for the morning briefing. We'll be back here. The next one will be about 2:30 or so, 3 o'clock this afternoon when at the TV station here. If you can, check the blog. All of our notes are there, alabamawx.com, and we'll be on TV this evening, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Sinking driveway? Call Alabama Professional Services. Settling patio? Call APS. Uneven pool deck? Call APS. Collapsing stoop? Call APS. Cracking sidewalk? That's right, call APS. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS. Call Alabama Professional Services today.